After a good night's sleep, I got up at 6:15 and did my camp chores. I took down my food bag, packed up my tent, filtered my water, drank my breakfast essentials, and at 8 o'clock, I made my way out on the 1-mile hike to the trailhead. Today would be my biggest mileage on the trail. I ended up hiking 20 miles, which is the most miles I've ever hiked in a day. It was a beautiful, sunny day with low temperatures for early August. I was soon walking through some amazing rock formations that would greet me several times on the trail. It was kind of like a rock tunnel without a roof. These were one of the highlights for me on the trail. For the next several miles, the trail went up and down many steep hills. Fortunately, the hills didn't last too long. It felt like a not-so-fun roller coaster. As the miles and temperatures increased, it was time to shed some clothes during a snack break. I had a conversation with a hiker that was doing a yo-yo hike, which means he hiked the entire trail northbound, or Nobo, then turned around and hiked it again southbound, or Sobo. One way was enough for me.
I did expect that, so. But there was two guys that were in front of me, and they got to the shelter, realized it wasn't water, and said we went from the shelter to the parking lot and then back to the shelter again.
One of the unusual things about this trail were the cement mile markers placed every mile. These would not only let me know where I was on the trail, but were a psychological boost to know I was making progress. At mile 47, I had hiked about halfway for the day and decided it was time for a late lunch at 2:30. I didn't take long because I still had a long way to go. I got to the Route 30 shelter, but walked on by because the day was getting shorter and I had miles to make. Although I crossed several small wooden bridges, there was very little or no water in the small creeks since we are in the middle of the summer. It's very important to fill up on water at the shelters when on the north end of this trail. It was getting later and darker on the trail. The temperature was dropping, and I could feel a storm rolling in. Walking through the pine forest covered with ferns and a light rain was such a calming feeling. It was one of those small, simple moments that's a reason why I'm out here in the first place. It didn't take long for the clouds to open up and the rain to fall much heavier. It was a great time to try out my new rain jacket. It worked great. I soon got to Beam Rock, which I was looking forward to seeing, but with the rain and the lateness of the day, I decided to just keep walking by and not get a closer look. Maybe next time. The darkness soon fell, and I pulled out my headlamp and did some night hiking for about an hour. It was a little creepy, but also kind of fun at the same time. I got into the shelter at 9 o'clock and found a tent site. After hanging my food bag and setting up my tent, I sat at a nearby fire ring and made ramen noodles for dinner. Nothing like sitting all alone in the dark eating dinner at 10 o'clock at night. With all the detours and walking back to get my camera, I ended up walking 20 miles for the day. It was a tough day, but also a great day on the trail.